Hello! You must be here because you love Disney. Well, at least you like The Little Mermaid. Or you just saw the video and you thought it was great. Anyways, I've got a surprise for you. The Disney version is not quite the same as the original. The Disney version of The Little Mermaid, we see Ariel and she's like freaking obsessed with humans. And one day she swims up to the surface and she sees a ship. So she swims up to the ship and she sees the handsome prince. His name is Eric. She watches him for a while. He falls in love. A storm comes. She rescues him from drowning. All he can remember is the sound of her singing voice, which is like so incredibly beautiful. And then she swims back down to her little lair where she has a bunch of human crap and a statue of Eric. And her dad comes and finds out about her crush and her obsession, and he gets angry and he destroys the whole human place. And she gets upset, so she swims away, cries, and she goes to see the sea witch Ursula, who's this like really ugly half human, half octopus. Cannot talk. Going too fast. Who's this half woman, half octopus chick. She's really ugly, in case I didn't mention that before. And the Little Mermaid goes up to her and is like, yeah, so I want to be human. The witch is like, oh yeah, I could totally do it up for you. So she gives Ariel this potion in exchange for her voice. And Ariel agrees. And she goes up to the shore. And the prince finds her. Well, his dog finds her, and then he comes. He's like, no, bad dog, leave her alone. And then he takes her up to the castle, and then they hang out a whole bunch, and then he starts to fall in love with her, and everything's going like perfectly according to plan. But then Ursula, that little bitch, has to come and use Ariel's singing voice and hypnotize the prince and almost get him to marry her. And Ariel's like, oh my god, this is horrible. And yeah, so the prince almost marries Ursula. She's in disguise, don't worry, man. Like, yeah, that hypnotism thing so wouldn't work if she wasn't in disguise. Yeah, so she's in disguise as like some hot brunette. And anyways, it makes Ariel sad, but then they find out it's Ursula, so then there's this like battle. Ariel gets her singing voice back, the spell on Eric is broken, and Ariel and Eric get married, and they all live happily ever after. And the only person that dies is Ursula, and nobody cares because she's a bitch. Okay, now brace yourselves. Here is the original. Disney actually follows it pretty good up until the potion. In the movie, Ariel just drinks the potion, turns into legs. And the crab and the fish help her swim up to the surface so she can breathe. What they don't show is that that potion makes Ariel feel like a sword is being run through her. Okay? On the first initial transformation. After that, every time she walks, it will feel like she's walking on swords, and the pain is so intense that her feet will actually bleed. She just bleeding everywhere, blood. The Disney version, everywhere. They don't even show that. All that happens is she turns into legs. Okay, no, she grows a pair of legs, and the crab and the fish help her swim to the surface. So she gets up to the surface. And she meets the prince, and he's completely mesmerized by her beauty and her grace, and he really likes her dancing, so the bastard makes her dance for him, and she does it because she loves him, like one asshole. Like, she's in so much pain, her feet just bleed and bleed and bleed, and she dances anyways. Like, Jesus Christ. Boys are so mean. So we all know the Disney version has this happiest ever ending. But in the original, well, it's not quite so happy, which you might have guessed by now, seeing as Eric has married that other princess. So, like, where does that leave the Little Mermaid? Anyways, the Little Mermaid, her heart is broken, and she's just ready to completely give up on everything when her sisters show up with this knife that they got from the sea witch. And they're like, yeah, we totally sold our hair to get you this knife. And Little Mermaid's like, okay, great. What the hell do I do with it? And the sisters are like, you take this knife, you kill the prince, drop his blood on your feet, and you can turn into a mermaid again, and come live with us the rest of your 300 years of life. And the Little Mermaid, she's like, oh, okay. But when it actually comes to doing the task, she just can't bring herself to kill her true love. Well, her crush, because he doesn't love her, so can't really be a true love, right? Anyways, she can't do it, so she jumps off a cliff and turns into sea foam. And yeah, so she dies. And then she turns into a spirit, or daughter of the wind, and she has to do like 300 years of good deeds to get a soul so she can go to heaven. The catch on that, though, is that for each time a child cries, every tear dropped is an extra day. Like, she's completely screwed. She's gonna be a daughter of the wind for the rest of her days. It sucks. Like, you just look, Old Yeller would have tacked on at least 500 years. So basically there is no happy ending. Seems like there is, but there isn't. Yeah. So anyone out there who is wishing to be the Little Mermaid, well, I guess I just kind of killed that for you. I'm sorry. Still, it's pretty good story. Anyways, this has been my first video, so please hit subscribe, like, share it, comment. I would be so happy. You'd be like the greatest person in the whole entire world. I would make sure that a special spot in heaven was made for you for when you're ready to check out. Anyways, it's so much fun making this video. Anyways, I'm gonna be starting posting videos up pretty regularly, so check out my other ones when I put them up. I beg you. And I will see you next time, because you're definitely gonna watch my next video, please. Anyways, bye.